Raspberries are one of the easiest fruits you can grow, and they come in a lot of different varieties right in our Etsy shop. And in a lot of ways, they're a lot like growing blackberries, except most raspberry plants have thorns on them. However, today I'm going to show you 3 different varieties of raspberries and how they're similar to growing blackberries. So if you didn't already know, most fruit-bearing plants are very invasive, just like our blackberries behind us, and strawberry plants and raspberry plants all are pretty much the exact same way. They're pretty invasive. They just want to survive and just keep multiplying. So with that said, don't mind this mess behind me. It's just my raspberry bushes. And I'm guilty of doing the exact thing a lot of beginner gardeners do, and that is plant all the varieties together. The first thing I want you to recognize is the 2 different types of leaf colors. That's the easiest way to recognize what variety is what when you're growing raspberries. But there's a noticeable difference in the color of leaves in our fall gold versus our Carolina raspberries. In our fall gold raspberries, the leaves look a lot purer and more delicate and just overall look a lot cleaner compared to any other raspberry plant. And you can easily tell that these Carolina raspberries have a little bit oranger color leaves than the fall gold. Now today I don't have any video footage of what the fall gold looks like other than my daughter picking raspberries last year right here. The Carolina raspberries are starting to produce berries right now, and they have a little bit of a red tint to them, just like you can find at the grocery store. Where the fall gold raspberries really get their name because when they're ripe, they are like a goldish yellow color. And the most interesting thing about growing fall golds is the berry is actually made up of 90% sugar. It has a unique taste that is not what you're expecting either. It doesn't taste like a normal raspberry. So my fall gold and Carolina raspberries are all running in together because what they do is they just find a way to keep multiplying. And to grow these things, you just need to stick them in the ground and add you a mulch bed because these things thrive in a mulch bed. If you don't know what I mean by mulch bed, go watch my video on how to grow blackberries because I show you exactly how to make one of those perfect environments to grow on blackberries. And technically you would do the exact same thing, except it's just a different plant. So in order for you to tell the difference in the 2 varieties I've shown, the fall gold and the Carolina, is number 1, the color of the berry, and number 2, the color of the leaves. And now I'm going to show you my favorite called the Glencoe. And the reason why they're my favorite is because they're thornless, just like all of my blackberries. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my Glencoes planted and they're not blooming yet, so I can't give you an exact example or show you exactly what they look like as they get bigger. But this variety right here is a thornless variety, and they get about the same height as all the other raspberry plants. And I don't have this variety planted yet because I don't want to do what I did earlier and showed you. I don't want to just stick it in the ground because I want these to go in the perfect spot and continue to multiply and produce for me in the future. But here's what I'll show you. These leaves look nothing like the other 2 varieties that you saw earlier. They look a little bit different green than the fall gold, and they definitely ain't the orangish color like the Carolina leaves. And the colorful berries you get from the Glencoe variety are actually a reddish purple, and they still taste the exact same like you get at the grocery store. Whereas the fall gold tastes nothing like a regular raspberry. So I said all that to say, all you need to do when growing raspberries is set them up exactly like I've explained how to grow blackberries in my previous videos. You need to put them in a mulch bed. You need to have them trellised as well because they don't get as tall as blackberry bushes, but they will lean over when the berries start forming on them. You don't want the berries to be touching the ground. You want to help them stay up so the berries don't go to waste. In addition, your raspberries don't get necessarily as big as the ones you get from the store like our blackberries do. Our blackberry varieties that we sell and show you how to get set up, those varieties all have very huge berries. Whereas if you're trying to grow all the raspberries on your own, they typically don't get as big as you can get them at the store. And also, you can't get as many pounds per bush on your raspberries like you can blackberries.